channel, Danette Gets Creative. I'm Danette, and tonight I'm going to show you how to make these cute little Christmas tags. Okay, let's get started. I have a piece of paper here that measures 4.5 inches by 2.25 inches. And you can see that I've cut one corner off to create the tag at the top. And then I use the other one and place it on the opposite side so that you get the exact same shape on either side, the exact same angle. And now you can see I am tracing out the pattern onto muslin. I'm actually going to trace 3, and my fabric is doubled up because you'll need 2 pieces to complete the tag. My thought is that I will decorate one tonight, and the other 2 I will come back in a part 2 and a part 3 series, and I will decorate them differently. So if you're interested after tonight, stick around for part 2 and 3, and you will see me decorating the other 2 tags. In a moment, you're going to see that I'm going to cut it out and get ready to decorate them. Okay, now that we have the bases cut out, I'm going to use some of my decorative patterns, my Christmas patterns, to create a collage on the tag. I'm going to rip and cut some of the pieces. I'm going to place them around. You don't need big pieces because the tag is so small that you can get rid of some of your itty bitty scraps that you have lying around. Just play around with the pieces until you're satisfied. And then once you get them settled into place, I'm going to use a glue stick to just temporarily lay them down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to go back and trim around the edges, because as you can see, they're hanging out over the tag right now. But once they are secure with the glue, I'll just flip it over and I will trim the edges, and then I'll be ready to stitch them. All the pieces are placed. I've trimmed the edges, do a little tidy up here. I've got my needle and thread ready, just a basic sewing machine cotton in white. I'm going to do the running stitch over the entire tag to secure the pieces. So for the next few minutes, you're going to notice that I'm just going to keep doing the slow stitch. If you want to fast forward to the end to see what the next step is, this is a good chance to do that, as I'm just going to again continue to stitch down the pieces until the tag is completely covered with stitches. Now that the stitching is all done, I want to add a little bit more decoration to the tag. So I've grabbed a handful of trims and laces and doilies, and I'm going to go through and see which one I like the best. I want to add just a tiny bit of decoration. So in the end, I end up choosing the cream colored one that I started with. I measure it to size, I pin it and sew it, and the edges are fraying. So I end up using a fray away product, which is kind of like a glue to stop the frays. You will also see later on that I had a piece of fabric that had Christmas messages on it. I chose a message that said Happy Holidays. I tore it and frayed the edges, and I'm going to use that message to sew on the second base, the back, just to give another piece of decoration to the back of the project. Now that I have the words Happy Holiday sewn onto the back, I decide I want to add a little bit more decoration to the front of the tag. So it wouldn't be a video if I didn't dig into my vintage buttons here. I struggled to decide whether I wanted to use small buttons or medium buttons. And in the end, I ended up deciding with 3 medium buttons. I end up using sewing machine cotton in white to sew down the 3 buttons. I also decide that it's time to sew the 2 pieces together. I grab some green sewing machine cotton as a contrast to the back color, and I end up putting the 2 pieces wrong sides together. So that means that The decorative side on both pieces are facing the opposite way. I use 2 pins and pin it together, and then, as you will see, I go around the edge, taking the time to make little stitches that are able to be seen on the back. Now that the 2 pieces are sewn together, I'm going to use my crocodile to punch a hole in the top, quite a large hole actually, and then I'm going to use the grommets that you can see there in the background to fill the hole. I end up using the bigger grommets just because I felt that they showed more color than the small ones. I auditioned a red one, I auditioned a green one. I do try the little one, but the little one just doesn't have enough color, and I decide definitely not to use it. And in the end, I decide on the green one. I use the crocodile machine again to pinch close the grommet, and then I'm ready to add some string. And what I end up using for string is I take some of the original muslin that I used and I tear it into a strip. And then I found a little bit of a cream colored piece of fabric and I tear it into the same size strip. So I'm going to use 2 little pieces of fabric to go through the grommet. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use just a natural colored bead that you see up there in the corner to hold the 2 pieces of fabric together. And then I'm just going to tie a knot in the top, and then the tag is complete. the tag is complete. I will come back in part 2 and part 3 to decorate more tags. If you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you would like to see. Take care. Bye.